Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Shirt man! All right! Episode 274 of Shirt Show! We're talking with Chris from Mixture in New York. Let's go!
Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Dylan. I am the owner of Upstate Merch and the host of the Shirt Show podcast. My guest today was Chris from Mixture. He is a guy who had listened to all of our episodes of Shirt Show, has a great shop. Follow him on Instagram. He is a guy who started out as a skater, went through that whole world of skate shops, snowboard, all this other stuff. He's actually in Newburgh, which is like not far from me, which is kind of cool. And we had a lot of New York stuff in common. We talked a lot about just entrepreneurship and kind of living, over 20 years in this industry, all these different things and what it takes. We talked a lot about the shop growth. We talked a lot about sales and how we should kind of do them in our area and being more true to like the reality and just giving someone an honest evaluation of what it is they need to do. Another thing we talked a lot about is like he has a couple satellite locations and what it means to do that and how you can get business from certain towns and cities that you might not have normally been able to get. So it was kind of cool. It was just fun. It was just two dudes from New York talking about screen printing. So it's a chill, fun episode. I hope you like it. If you want to support the Shirt Show, the best thing you can do is to share about the show. I would love to see you share something on your Instagram stories or Facebook or whatever, where you're listening to the episode. Just take a second, post something on your stories and tag us. That would be great. If you could thumbs up and subscribe on YouTube, that's huge for us. I'm really trying to build that YouTube stuff because it just helps get us out more and more to more screen printers that don't know we exist. So if you could do that, that would be huge. Couple things. If you do want to keep in touch with the show and kind of get some behind the scenes stuff, I do have a newsletter that comes out every week where I basically talk about what's going on with me, what's going on with the show. I also have tech tips from John McGee. I have a bunch of new things being added. We're going to try to do like industry news as well as it's a full recap of the show from last week that gives like kind of a breakdown of everything. So sign up, go to shirtshowofficial.com/newsletter. And again, it's free. It comes out every week. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Speaking of new things, also too, if you go to shirtshowofficial.com, the website is all new. It's pretty sweet. We're adding a bunch of things all the time. Right now, there's a new tab at the top called Hacks. We are going through every show we've ever done and adding the shop hacks that the guest gives at the end of the episode. It's going to take a while, but there's a good amount of them up right now, and we are adding more every week. So if you want to check that out, go to shirtshowofficial.com, and at the top is the section called Hacks. This show would not be possible without our amazing partners. Frank. It all starts with a screen. Whether it's new stretches or restretches, Frank and his team do it the best. To find out more, go to graphicscreenfashion.com, greatfuckingscreens.com, or ffffrank.com. Cleaning screens is no fun, but EasyWay makes it way more funner. Their line of eco-friendly chemicals and equipment make reclaiming screens a whole lot easier. Right now is a great time to check them out because they have a new monthly giveaway where you have a chance to win $250 in product credit. Head over to easyway.com/giveaway to enter today. EasyWay is the easiest way, baby. Graphics is your source for production-ready digital art and remote art staffing. They can help any size shop from just starting out to enterprise level. Looking at a hero to your art department? Check them out at graphxsource.com. Also, amazing digitizers. SNS is your premier partner in the apparel industry with one website, one purchase order, and 14 distribution centers with over 100 beloved brands. You can streamline your ordering and hit free freight faster than ever. SNS has 1 to 2 day shipping with the lowest error rate in the industry. Be sure to order your blanks from ssactivewear.com. SNS is adding adding a bunch of educational content to their website. I'm seeing that kind of popping up. So go check that out. Today's episode is brought to you by American Apparel, the makers of the iconic 2001. Soft, fitted, and always in style, this shirt has been the go-to for brands, bands, and print shops for decades. If you want a shirt people actually want to wear, start with the iconic 2001. For over 90 years, Stahls has been the leading choice among apparel decorators for their heat transfer materials, heat press equipment, and custom transfer services. Not only do they offer some of the best products, but they are always looking to innovate and educate our industry on all things heat press. Be sure to head over to stalls.com to order your transfers and check them out on YouTube to be taught a thing or two. Ryonet has always been that solid go-to resource for screen printers. Not only are their supplies super reliable, but their network of education and support is next level. Whether you're figuring things out or fine-tuning your process, they've got your back. Check them out at screenprinting.com. The episode before this one is with Ryonet. We're talking education and, basically throughout all these years, all these people that listen to the show, a lot of them say that they learned to screen print from the Ryonet videos. So again, huge on education. I'm all about it. I love it. Go check them out, and you can buy your supplies from screenprinting.com. If you are new to this industry, or you've been in this industry, you just don't have any industry friends, or you don't know what to do, join our Discord. Go to shirtshowofficial.com/Discord, sign up. It's totally free. It's not this big weird gaming thing that everyone thinks it is. It's just a community place where you can go and talk and, get all the knowledge you want to get from people on screen printing. It is policed. There are no trolls. We kick those people out, so you can ask any question you want, and these people will help. It's a nice big community of printers. There's all these different channels for embroidery, DTG, DTF, screen printing, marketplace, all these different things. Go sign up, check it out, make some friends, get some small groups. It's the way to go. I want to say I really, really appreciate all of you for listening, watching, chiming in, DMing me, keeping me afloat. I'm trying my best to get out as much information as I can. I am sitting down and being vulnerable and having a conversation with you guys every week. It means a lot to me. It's a therapy thing for me. I get to learn, but I also get to share it with you. So I just want to say thank you if you're listening. I appreciate you all. I hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you. What is up, dude?
What's up, my man?
How are you?
I'm living the dream, brother.
Thank you for being here, dude.
I'm so pumped to be on this, man. I've been listening to you guys since day one, man. Since Success?
I apologize.
Success Print Shop, and Juan was the second episode. Juan hit. That's it, man. So,
I know. It's the best name for a print shop ever.
Yeah.
You're not even that far from me. I didn't realize.
Yeah, we're pretty close. We're neighbors, I guess, to some extent.
Yeah. How is Newburgh?
Newburgh is Newburgh, man. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, I'm in the town, so I'm not really in that bad of an area. I'm like literally a mile off the New York State Thruway. But I lived in the city of Newburgh. I worked in the city of Newburgh for a long time. You ever go to any? I know you're in the hardcore scene, the punk scene. You ever do any go to any shows at the old Newburgh skateboard park? Or is that before
Possibly.
your time?
It's been a long time. I mean, I've been all over New York, and when I was in the band, we played everywhere. So I just can't remember where they were. Like if I was to be there, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember this place. But names wise, it's not really helping me.
Ringing a bell. Okay. I used to run. I was like the manager of that place. So,
so we probably high fived at the door without knowing it.
Yeah. We might have crossed paths in our time back in the '90s. So
there was a print shop. I'm actually buddies with the owner, but kind of like growing up into this industry in the beginning, there was a couple of shops I looked up to, and one of them was American Icon, which was from Newburgh.
Yep. I have one of their signs in my bathroom.
Really?
So, yeah. One of the general managers, like the guy that caretook the property, he just brought it over and gave it to us. But Rob and Andy were probably like the only dudes I was cool with in this area. So
yeah. Rob lives in Binghamton now, so he's like right next door to me.
Yep.
So. Yeah, we kind of became friends later on. Once my shop got established or whatever, we had talked here and there, and then he kind of sold it and got out and whatever. And then we connected after the fact. And I was like, dude, you don't understand, coming up, you were one of my, inspirations for, we had a very similar aesthetic. We had a very similar, market that we went after and everything. So I, could connect with him and go on different things. So I don't know. I think that stuff's super important. I think reaching out to people that are very like-minded print shop wise is like a huge thing. And he was a great dude. So hopefully they were good to you. You said that like those two kind of were the only ones you were friends with around. But.
Yeah, they were cool. Like some, they were running autos before I had them. So there were like certain jobs I would contract out to them. They would make like discharging for me before I had like Pantone stuff. And, I had plenty of times they were like, our film printer crapped out. Can we come up and, use your printer? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, bro. Just come on
That's
in.
awesome.
So,
Nice.
we always had each other's back. We didn't really, they were more like contract printers, and we didn't really step on each other's toes at all. So it worked out good. And, we always, if he needed a pail of white or something, come on up. I got one.
Isn't that awesome when you actually need something that like you have somebody like next door that can help you out?
Yeah, so I don't got anybody now.
I know. I'm in my area, I'm the one that people go to. Like, it's not that I really can go to them. I feel like I'm the one who always has like extra stock of ink or extra stock of this or that. And my rep always calls me. He's like, oh, is it okay if someone so comes by and picks up a 5 of white or whatever? And it's like, yeah, sure. Like,
yeah,
it's all good. Bring them by. Yeah. So I want to hear your story. You kind of started out in skateboarding.
Yeah. I was diehard skater, about 14, 15 years old. I used to go to the Newburgh skate park that we mentioned in the past. And that summer they were remodeling the park, and he offered like 5 guys, hey, you come help out. We'll let you skate for free, discount in the pro shop, free food. I was like, bet. But I was probably one of the only people out of the 5 that actually worked. The other 4 were just goofing off,
holding shovels.
Yeah, skating. Mm-hmm. So I wound up getting a job at the end of the summer. He's like, you want to come work part-time for me? I was like, hell yeah, this is like a dream come true. And I worked, at the Newburgh skate park, probably from like 15 to about 20 years old. It changed ownerships and stuff. And then, I really loved skateboarding. I still do. I have a handful of clients that are skate shops, skateboard companies, skateboard parks, like that, anything like skateboard, snowboards, like super passionate. Like I love printing that. I probably printed a little too cheap. But
it's because you feel for them and you want to make it work for them. Yeah, for sure.
Skateboarding is such a tough industry. Like the margins are horrible. You make like $10, $15 a deck if you're lucky. And, so I always try to I know they make money off shop shirts and stuff. So I try to just give them the cheapest price I can while still making a buck. Mm-hmm. But then, so I worked at skateboarding, then I wound up, park closed down, wound up working for Vans, retail, which was probably one of the worst jobs I've ever had. And,
isn't that funny though? Isn't it like everyone I've ever talked to who's worked retail always says that like, oh, I worked retail or whatever. But like everybody who I know who's worked retail has learned so much about retail from working retail, like talking to customers, how things go. Like you learn all the things that are important to being a entrepreneur or a salesperson or whatever from retail bullshit.
100%. You definitely learn the how the sales and stuff like that. Definitely teach you how to work. I work down at the Woodbury Commons. I'm sure you've heard of that place, and you get every type of clientele from all over the world there. So you can really kind of perfect your sales, I guess, so to speak, with the people you can't even speak English to. So and then I went to SUNY New Paltz senior year. I came across a little bit of money, and I bought my first little press, and kind of no look back there. I bought a little 4-color 1-station Econoflex. She's a beauty. I still own it. I still have it. Won't get rid of it. It's sitting on like top of a freaking
dude. I wish so bad I kept my original stuff. Like I knew when I got rid of the dryer, because that was the last thing I kept. I was like, I don't want to get rid of this, but it took up a good amount of shop space. And I was like, I have nowhere to put this. This is just going to rot somewhere, whatever. And it was this like M&R Economax dryer. And it was small, but it weighed fucking like it was so heavy for what it was. Like, I feel like it was just solid steel. But like, I had to get rid of it, and I got rid of that silver press that we started with. And I reached out to the guy that I sold it to because he just had kind of like a little fashion store or whatever. And he's like, I was like, man, I, for nostalgia's sake, want to buy this back. Like, do you have this? Like, I just want it to like have it on display or something. He's like, oh, a couple of years ago, we just decided we weren't using it and we put it on the curb and like somebody took it. And I was just like, motherfucker, like,
yeah.
There's no way for me to track that down now. So one thing, like new shops reach out to me all the time, like brand new shops or whatever. And the one thing I always say is like, think about things like your business is your child. Like, take as many photos as you can of like all of your different setups, your growth, all of these things, and like cherish some of the things from the beginning, because in the moment you're like, I don't need this. I don't care about this. I don't whatever. And then when you get 20 years in business, you're like, man, I wish I had photos of like, remember when we were in this closet? Remember when we did this thing? And it's like, I have like next to no photos for like the first 10 years.
I'm right there with you. I got zilch. A couple, maybe like 10 actual, like, you know, what are they, 5x7 or 4x6 photos, and that's nothing else. I do have a couple trunks of like shirts that I printed like probably the first 10 years that I kept. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, as far as like the photographs and all that stuff, yeah, we used to do so much stupid stuff, you know, the first 10 years when, you know, you had a lot more downtime and stuff like that. So
yeah. So what made you want to buy this press in the first place? Like, coming from like the retail stuff?
I actually learned how to screen print in high school. And they had a graphic arts class, which was basically a print shop class. And you could take it from sophomore to senior years. And it was a 2-period class. And I just, you know, we learned offset printing, you know, dark room. That's how when I started, there was a dark room. When I left, there wasn't a dark room. So I got to see the transition from, you know, like, wow, we don't have to do a dark room anymore. And screen printing was one of the sections in the class, and I just fell in love with it. I remember I used to make these area code 914. That was the area code back then. It's changed. And I made them, and I started, like, people wanted to buy them, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I made this t-shirt, and people actually want to buy this off me. And
I feel like the area code is the breakout way to start a clothing line. Like, there's so many clothing lines that all they have is the area code on the front of the shirt. And people buy it. And it's like, I get it to a degree. Like, the only reason why the area code in my area makes any care for me is the hardcore scene, because it was always, 607 hardcore or whatever. And it was like their way of like being like, this is our territory. Don't come here. If you come here, 607 is going to, like, you know, whatever. But other than that, like, it doesn't matter to me. But there's other places like Rockford Art Deli and stuff where like they sell a shitload of like 518 or whatever it is. But people love it. I mean, they just get super, like, you know, I don't know what the word is, but just like, it's their thing. You know what I mean? Like, we're from here. We're 518.
It's just a way to rep. Just a way to rep where you're from, I guess, but not like rep it, you know, like Newburgh, New York, you know, instead of just 914. You have to know what it is in order to, you know, to understand it. So, and then, yeah, that was my favorite section in high school. It was like screen printing. I think it was everybody's favorite section. And like I said, I was in college. I was going to SUNY New Paltz, and I got a little bit of money, nothing crazy. And I was like, all right, let's give it. One thing I know is I know people that own businesses, and I set up my little 4-color one station. I got a little brown dryer, and it was in my 3rd floor apartment in the kitchen. Like, I literally gutted my kitchen. The pantry was the screen rack. I put like the screens in there, and I had this old 1978 American Poly light. This thing's probably like 8-foot big exposure unit, and I was waiting tables at a barbecue restaurant, and he had an extra spare room, and he's like, yeah, throw that shit in there. So I used to have to run to the barbecue spot, make the screens, and then run back home, rinse it out in the shower, and then set it up. It sucked when the burn went wrong and you had to go back
I had to do it all over again.
and drive back and do it all over again. And by the time I graduated college, that was my senior year, I was like, I don't want to work for the man. So I opened up a little 800 square foot spot in the back of a little strip mall. It was in the back of the building. And, it's just no looking back from that point on. So 22 years now, 22 years.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
22 years includes in the third floor apartment, or just when you got to the thing?
Yeah, third floor apartment. So
isn't that wild? Like, we're at that age where basically we can say that we've been in this career for whatever 20 something years or whatever it is. Like, I've been thinking about that lately because that's where I'm at right now is 20 years. And it's like, dude, I've been fucking doing this shit for 20 years. Like, I couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could, but like, I know everything that I can know about this. Like, obviously that's a broad statement, but still, it's like, this is my life. Like, this is everything, I'm going to be 40 and I'm 38 now, but like, it's just like, God, dude, this is a long time to be fucking dealing with screen printing.
You're a young blood still, so.
Yeah, I mean, but still, it's like.
But 20 years at 38, man, that's a lot, man. That is a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I've been doing this literally since like basically after high school.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I mean, you've been doing the same thing, but still, it's like, what do you do with that information? So anyway, you get this little space. Like, are you focusing again still on skate stuff? Like, is that most of the businesses that you were going after with skate stuff, or is it just kind of anything and everything?
No, not at all. Well, what I wanted to do originally was, the name of my business is Mixture, and originally before that, before I waited, after the park closed, I owned a skateboard shop. And I had skateboards, snowboards, and I was actually pressing my own boards. That was a partnership. You know how partnerships end up, wound up in court and, just dissolved. I hated the skateboard industry, walked away from it. But the idea behind Mixture was I wanted to be a mixture of things. I wanted to do screen printing as well as sell skateboards and snowboards and stuff like that. But I just never got around to it, I guess. And the screen printing took off. I really didn't focus.
So then you just said Mixture is you mixing inks instead of a mixture of skateboards.
Yeah.
And snowboards.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of worked out in its own way. So, no, I didn't really go after skateboard shops. I was just going after anyone I knew that owned a business or, was like, worked at a school, anywhere I could, hustle some, hustle. I'm a hustler, man. I mean, you can see the little sign back there. Every day I'm hustling. Like, that is like, the grind is, sales to me is just, it's 50% of this whole industry, man. There's a lot of people, there's so many great screen printers out there, that make awesome product, but what good is it if you can't sell it?
Dude, I fully agree with that. And that's like something I've been like thinking about and kind of like not struggling with, but just like, what are we doing? And I've talked about it a lot on the show where we kind of got comfortable in a set of ways of like just dealing with inbound. And it's like, all right, we're going to do inbound. And then after COVID, inbound kind of got weird and like stale. And then it was like, all right, we need to really focus on outbound. So I spent like 3 years or whatever, or 2 years, like trying to figure out outbound. Now we're doing outbound. And then it's like, all right, well, try this for 6 months. And okay, well, this worked and this didn't work. And then it's like, all right, let's change this. Let's do the other thing. And then recently, as much as I fucking hate Gary Vee, I saw a Gary Vee thing that was basically talking about, it was like a TikTok or something where he was talking about how when you have a brand, like when you have great branding and like memorable logos, and you focus on yourself and making cool shit for yourself, and you just look appealing and look cool and like all these other things, like a lot of your outbound isn't you just selling all day. People just come to you because they want to work with you. They want to look like you. They want to sell products that look similar to what you're doing and whatever. And then people just come. And it's funny because I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years in of the business, like I feel like that's what it was. Like I focused really hard on, like, we were constantly making new shop shirts. Like we were always like doing new designs. I was posting designs a lot, not just t-shirts. I was like, oh, this new freelancer we're working with is making this. And then I feel like we would always get a couple jobs from, you know, people liking that style of artwork or the prints that we did for that company or whatever. And recently I've been like, I just need to double down on that again. Like I need to just like promote Upstate. I need to be like, oh, well, these are things we're doing. This is what sets us apart, whatever. Cause like almost like you said, like there's a million screen printers out there and they can all print a shirt, but like I want people to come to us because they want to come to us, not necessarily to just print a shirt. Like I don't want to be another shop where it's just like we're a store and it's like, oh, they just come here because they need t-shirts. Like I want them to walk in the door and be like, oh, I saw that you printed for so-and-so and I love their work and I've got similar whatever. Let's like collab. Let's be a partnership. Almost like we're a studio or a, you know, an agency or something where like they're coming here because of us, not because we have the tools in the back to like get the project done. Like, how do you feel about that? I mean, been doing it a long time. Like, what's your approach to like the sales and marketing for Mixture?
I'm more of an old school person. I feel like social internet is everyone's doing it. It's so saturated. I am more of a like
knocking on doors.
Exactly. Literally to this day, I'm still, you know, like I said, 22 years doing this. I still knock on doors. I'm big on, I like to make sample kits, you know, not of my stuff, but of their stuff. Cause it's a great, regardless, even if they don't like the design or anything, it's a great way to get your foot in the door. I mean, like, give me 10 minutes. You're going to get some free swag out of the deal.
So are you going,
your brand of stuff.
Are you going online and finding their logo or making a new fresh design and then making some stuff up for them?
Little bit of both. Sometimes I'll just grab their, you know, depending on the caliber or what I think they could be. If I think they could be really something special and it'd spend a lot of money here, I will, you know, I might pay a freelancer a couple $100, you know, this is just on a whim. You know, I might get absolutely nowhere with it, but I figure it's a lot. The ROI on that is a lot better than, you know, I spent $2,000 this month on Google Instagram ads. Yeah. Like, sure. You know, I'd rather spend $2,000 a month on making sample kits for potential clients and trying to go meet them,
instead of just dumping it into Facebook or Google ads or 100%. Something. You never know what's going to come from it. Yeah. I just had a conversation with a buddy the other day. Well, I guess two things. One, I just had a conversation with a buddy the other day that was asking me about all of these, like hiring someone to do your SEO and doing Google ads and having this like click funnel thing and this and this. And I was like, it all sounds cool. Like if you go online and you hear all these people talk about click funnels and this and that and the other thing, like the math or whatever sounds good of like, oh, we'll put X amount of dollars in and then this many leads are going to come and this is going to translate to this much money, but you're constantly dumping money in to feed the machine and this and that and the other thing. And it's like, we did that. Like, I want to test every avenue so that I'm not ignorant to like, well, there's this thing and that thing and whatever. But I spent a shitload of money, like thousands and thousands of dollars on hiring someone to do this SEO, make these funnels, put into Google ads. And it was like, I don't know, like $500 to $1,000 a week or something or whatever it ended up being to pump these ads and do this thing. And we did get a fuckload of leads. Like it did happen, but they were all the customers we didn't want, like literally all of them. Like I can't think of one right now that stood out from that whole campaign that we were like, oh, this is a reoccurring good client. every single one of them on the funnel form, like once they filled everything out, was like minimum quantity. Like there was a drop down of like, what quantities
What's
do you
your
want?
minimum?
It was always what's your minimum, and it was always like, oh, I want to do this print that's not like standard. It'd be like, oh, we want to print across the seam of sweatpants, and oh, it's going to be the front to back, and it's going to be, oh, can you do like the flip a shirt inside out and do this thing and gold foil? Like it was just like, dude, this is a nightmare. Like every order was a customer that we would consider a red flag customer here.
Exactly.
And it's like the shitty part about that is we were paying for them. Like we were spending our money to get the shit customers to our door. So it was like, what the fuck are we doing? So like, go back to your point is like my next strategy was kind of what we were doing before, where it's like, all right, well, I'd rather spend this, say it's $2,500 a month or something, whatever it is that I was spending on Google Ads. It's like, I will spend that on freelancers. I will spend that on custom, mugs that we had made that were like hand done, and these planters we had made, and all these other things that are really cool for a promo box. And I'll put together something custom for somebody specific that's like, this is a client I would love to have. And if we got them, they're going to order from us every 2 weeks, and it's going to be a sizable order. It's going to be someone that we can build a relationship with. Like that's
keyword
what I want. Yeah.
Keyword
Relationship.
right there. Relationship. Like that's the one thing I just think the whole internet and like, the SEO and stuff, it's so unpersonal. It's, it's just it's a transaction. And I really try to go after the relationship, because that's, at the end of the day, that's really, in my eyes, what we're selling to some degree is we're selling a relationship, connection and things of that sort. I feel like that is completely lost on the internet and, SEOs and Instagram ads. And that's just not who we are. Like I'm in it for the long haul with any of my clients. I want to do stuff, 10 years from now for you. I want to know about, I want to remember little Johnny, your son, 2 years old, and oh my God, he's going to college now. Like, that's the stuff, and that builds that builds loyalty in your brand. Like those relationships and things like that. So, and it's always worked for us. It's the sample kits have always worked for us. If it's not broke, don't.
What's your approach with that? Like you make it, you say you drop it off, it's a local thing, or you ship it or whatever. Like what's your pitch? Like what is your, hey, work with us speech?
It's really honestly, the samples usually speak for themselves, and they're already, to me, they're already in a great mood because I got some free swag. I never put like price point stuff. I'm not going to say shitty stuff, but like I always try to put like a comfort colors or AS color, something a little more elevated in there, and they're already excited. And just we run the local thing, drop some like if let's just say we're doing a brewery, we'd be like, well, we do these breweries. We'd love to work with you. We'd love to add you to our portfolio, just offer value added services. I do a lot. I do a lot of delivery still. Me personally, I deliver it myself. I'm
like
never
doing
too
the
busy
local
for
deliveries
delivery.
too.
Do you know how many orders I get just because I walked in there and delivered it? Like, here's your order. Oh, start talking. Hey, I need those too. So I just landed another order just from doing a delivery today. So I feel it's very important to do deliveries, and shows you care too. So.
What's funny is like, I kind of am getting to the point with this whole thing that for years and years, I did the nice guy thing. And I'm also figuring out in my personal life and whatever, the nice guy thing is like straight up like nice guys finish last. Like you will just get kicked in the nuts over and over and over and over again until you're like, I can't fucking, I can't do this. And it's like, for so long, there were these companies that, like you said, like you'll make a box or you'll make a whatever. And I have my Dream 100 list of clients I want to work with. And I will make these boxes and I will send these things or whatever. And they'll like breadcrumb me. They'll be like, oh yeah, like we do want to do an order with you. And then they'll send us like one order. I don't know, say it's 250 crew necks or something, and you print it and you're like, cool, like we got this sample order into them, like this is our trial run, whatever. And then 2 weeks later, you'll see a post on Instagram and it's like, oh, we got a fresh batch of merch in, and it's with somebody else. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, we just did this order. Everything went good, whatever. And then you reach out to them. They're like, yeah, you know, we just want to send certain orders there. And then like, we'll test you out here and there or whatever. And it's like, ugh. And then like you get another order from them 6 months from now. And it's like this hoodie order or something that the other guy didn't want to do. And it's like, what the fuck? So anyway, like we had this one client that basically was that. It was this like massive brewery. And they just kept giving us like little orders here and there. And I've tried this approach with another client like recently within like the last 6 months, where now I'm just starting to say real shit, where I'm just like, you know, like before you're like, oh, we'll have quality and we're going to help you. And like, we have good artists and this and blah, blah, blah. And the other thing. And you're just saying all these like nice buzzwords to get them to try to work with you. And I'm finding that more and more, if I'm just straight up with them on certain things, they're like, okay. And then they just start sending everything. And what it is basically, I'm just like, hey, like, this is the reality. Like, I'm very knowledgeable about blanks. I'm knowledgeable about print styles. I'm not going to be that shop that you walk into and say, I need this printed. They don't ask questions. They don't do anything. They just print whatever plastisol print. You're going to get it. Like, basically, it's straight transactional, like you said. Like, I could go to Custom Ink online, be like, t-shirt, and then they print it and it gets to you, and you have there's no say, there's no relationship, there's no input, there's no nothing. It is what it is. And I'm like, hey, I have all of these things. I'm constantly getting sent blanks from distributors. I'm constantly having this. Like, I know what's new this year. I know all these things. I was like, my goal is to sell you a fuckload of t-shirts. And I'll almost say like fuckload. Like, I will start swearing at this point, so they know I'm like serious. Of like, I will try to get it to where you're selling a fuckload of t-shirts, because to be completely honest, like, I want you to make a shitload of money selling merch so that I can make a shitload of money printing your merch. Like, 100%. That's the end of it. Like, I'm coming to you because we're both businesses. And if your business does well, my business does well. Exactly. And my whole goal is to print as many shirts for you as humanly possible. And I think that's doable, because right now your offering sucks. Like, basically you have your logo on a few shirts. Like, they're just basic shirts, they're whatever. I was like, there's so many cool new options we could do. There's hats, there's this thing, that thing. Like, we could do discharge printing here. We could do this printing here. Like, let's make a bunch of like cool shit together so that you have all these offerings that people want to buy, make a lot of money. And then in turn, you order more shit from me. Like, that's the reality. Like,
everybody's winning.
Like, I don't want the value add of me being your print shop to be that, oh, we just have a print shop who does what we need them to do. I want it to be, this print shop is a partnership where they're going to help us make way more cool merch, to where in turn, say, I don't know, say they make, just round numbers, say they're like, oh, okay, we made $100,000 this year on merch. And I'm like, all right, I come in and it's like, oh, all right, now you make $250,000 in merch. Why would you not do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's the strategy. Like, that's my sales pitch. Like, it's just straight up. Like, I want to make you more money so that you buy more shirts from me. Not like, oh, we can print your blah, 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 and we can make cool designs and whatever. It's like, I want to make you more money. Do you want to do that or not? Like, yeah. That's all it really comes down to. And most of the time now, these big customers that I wanted to get, I feel like that's the magic button for them, where they're like, oh, okay. Like, now I can go to my manager or to my boss or whatever and say, well, we're going to make X more thousands of dollars this year in merch than we did the year before. And that's it. And it seems to be working. Like, I did it the other day on a big client, and now they were like, yeah. And they've sent me like 4 emails in the last like 2 days where like, oh, we want to order this. We want to order this. I'm like, hell yeah, being a dick works. Like, yeah, I'm not necessarily a dick, but like, I'm just straight up.
Brutally honest, man.
I'm just like, hey, like,
don't get me wrong. I'm 100% brutally honest with, like, I'm kind of in a similar situation. There's a client we've had took me 2 years probably to get this client. It's a very price point clientele. It's like a hospitality, and you know, they've been using me for little orders here and there, and then they finally are like, okay, we want to spend some money. I'm like, the reason your shit's not selling because you got shit sucks, bro. Like, they want comfort colors in here. They want some, AS color, independent trading. Like, you need to elevate your what your offerings are, and it's going to elevate your sales. It's a no brainer. So, do you guys want to make more money or not? So, yeah, we want to make some money, and I've gotten 4 orders from them since last week.
Right.
So,
and that's something that a lot of these places don't understand. And it's like, dude, you're almost buying the wrong tool for the job when you're offering these clients who want a clothing brand style shirt and giving them like a G5000. Like, even Gildan knows, like Gildan straight up knows, they're not dumb. Like, the 5,000, 8,000, 2,000, whatever are literally like a budget tee. Like, this is
it's a
for
promo tee.
This is for a promo tee that your guys' giveaway. It's for people who are doing fucking like tarring roads and shit. Like, it's going to get destroyed. Let's give them a t-shirt that works for X amount of time, and then they're going to get another one. Like, it's a budget tee. It's what it's meant for. Like, if you were to look at Gildan's line of products, there's like a million of them. And there are like elevated items like the hammer tee and like all these other things. Like, I went to Gildan and like saw everything, like saw their testing rooms, whatever. They blind tested us on all these shirts, and we were like, oh, this one has to be the new American Apparel one, whatever. It's like fucking enzyme wash and like all the printability and all this other stuff. And the winner of everything was the hammer. And it's like, you don't think about it. You're just like, oh, this is this brand, this is this thing, it's not going to be great. And it's like, get your head out of your ass. Like, there are other options. But back to the stories, it's kind of like, these people, they just don't know what they don't know. That's what I'm saying when I go into these places, then they just have basic merch. Right. It's like, okay, well, the reason why people like the comfort colors is, and it's meant for like, it started like the resort market and whatever, is because it's super fucking comfortable. It's super soft. It's already kind of faded and worn in because it's, garment dyed and all this other stuff. And it's like, that's why it sells. It sells because they buy it, they wear it, they love it. It's their new favorite shirt. You're not going to get that with just a basic tee. Like, yeah, you will spend, say, $3 more for this shirt, but you're going to sell 3 times as many shirts because it's a nicer shirt and people want another one because they're like, oh, that's my favorite shirt. I wore that like for 3 years straight and it's so broken in and whatever. And it's like, that's the thing. They don't know. Like, they just think I need t-shirts, and then they go to a website and they order t-shirts. And it's like, okay, cool. They got the bottom of the barrel. No talking. And that's the reason why I don't like these sites where it's like, you just go on and you order and that's the end of it. Like, the first thing I do when a customer calls is I talk them through, like, what are these for? What's your goal? What's your mission? Like, what's what? Because that's going to tell me what kind of shirt you should get, what type of printing you should get, and all these other things. And that's the relationship factor, like we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the selling point too is, I'm here to educate your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. is what you're selling too. It's like, let me handle this, like, this is what I get paid to do. Like, I'm going to get you the best stuff that I think is going to fit you. And that's what I'm selling too. I think a lot of these printers just like, oh, you want a Gildan? Okay. Or, oh, you want a district t-shirt? They don't try to like, well, why do you want the Gildan t-shirt? Or why do you want this district t-shirt? What's the purpose of it? They're not like trying to educate and add extra value or, try to make your client more money, which in the end, like you said, is going to make us more money. I feel like,
well, the thing is a lot of these customers too don't want to be the bad guy. They don't want to speak up. They don't want to whatever. And we found this out years ago that if we just kept, because one of the things, again, guilty of it, is like, we came from the band world and almost all the bands wanted like a G5000. They wanted the cheapest shirt that they could put the biggest fucking metal logo on and call it good. And the thing is like, when you go to a different market, you go to these, corporate things or this whatever, and it's more like, okay, it should be an elevated item. And they say, I want a t-shirt, and we just give them a Gildan 5 or, a jerseys or whatever, Anvil at the time. And the thing is like, you do the job for them. It's good. No news is good news, you assume. And next year when they're ready to order, or 6 months from now, when you think they're ready to order, they go somewhere else or whatever. You're like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't they whatever? And then you finally get a hold of the person and you're like, what's the deal? And they were like, oh, I mean, all the shirts were good, but like after everyone washed them, this didn't fit anymore. Or we didn't like the way that this was or whatever. And it's like, Well, I didn't know. Like, if I knew that this was a factor or something that you wanted to do, then I would have done this a little bit differently, or I would have whatever. Or it could have been like, oh, I want this circle white logo on the back of this black shirt, and like I didn't know that they were a fucking roofing company. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to find these things out. You need to find out what they're going to use them for and what their plan is, and then you can give them the better shirt for the thing. We lost so many clients because of that, like not asking these questions, and we just assumed all as well. Like, oh, the print came out good, the shirts were good, but then when they get them and wear them, it doesn't fit what their goal was. And then they just don't come back. They just go somewhere else. They're like, well, I'll try another print shop because maybe they'll get it right this time. And it's like, oh, I can't go there because they only sell this shirt. And it's like, that's not true. We can sell you fucking thousands of brands. You know what I mean? You just don't know. And it's like you said, like educating the customer is like the biggest thing. Like that's our job. Like our job is basically like teaching them the way.
Yeah. No, you don't want that. This is what you want. And this is why you want it. So, you know, to them.
And they also respect you to be told.
Yeah.
Like, be a hard ass to a degree. Be like, no, you don't want that. This design's stupid. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I've done. I'm like, no. There's been certain jobs I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that because you can call another print shop because you're gonna be stuck with these and you're gonna hate me, and I'd rather you love me and walk away from a job than hate me.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't remember where we left off in your story. You started in this like strip mall back of the thing. Like how long were you there, and when did you grow from there?
I was there for 2 years, and then I moved to a warehouse, small warehouse. I think it was like 2,400 square feet in the back of the building too. For some reason, I've been stuck with these. You're just
the backdoor lover.
Nice price, man. And so we stayed there for a couple years, the warehouse, which was in the back of a warehouse, and my landlord actually owned a building right across the street, right on the main strip, and someone needed more space in the warehouse building and they wanted my space, so my landlord made me a deal I couldn't say no to. It was like, at the time, I think I was getting like 1,000 more square feet for an extra $200 a month. And it's right on the like Route 300. And I was like, this is central air in it. I'm like, this is a no brainer, man. So I was like, hell yeah. I think my landlord still regrets that decision to this day because like, I love my landlord. He's a very good landlord. Rent is fair. I can't complain at the end of the day. And now we share it. I used to own a sign business too called Mixture Signs. I had a partner with that. I sold that to him because I just hate everything about signs. And it's a tough.
Apparently partnerships too.
Yeah. And so we share, he subleases from me. We're close to about 6,000 square feet right now. And he subleases. He's got, we have a garage door here. He does tons of vehicle wraps, vehicle lettering. And, we've been in this building, about 15 to 17 years. And we've blown out the walls twice here. We've expanded twice. And I'm at a point where I'm 47 years old. I'm content, but not content. I have 2 autos, the question 2 or 10 autos. I'm really happy with the 2 autos. The margin is still there. I feel like if you get to that 10 auto scenario, you're just working on for pennies.
I have no desire anymore.
Yeah, desire.
It's fully out of my brain. Like, I feel like within the last 2 years, I've been on this debate of like, well, do I want to grow a little bit more? Do I want to? Now I am just I'm a dead horse. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, I'm sticking with the 2 to 3, and I'm just going to ride this bitch into the sunset. Like,
me too. I'd like to get more sales, obviously generate more revenue. But as far as like expanding, like you said, 4, 3, even 3 auto, I don't want it. I'm happy. I have a skeleton crew. Guys make decent money. We'd all love to pay our guys more than, obviously, but let's, especially you live in New York, you own a business and you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Goddamn, taking everything from
Do
us.
you want to just start being bitter all of a sudden? Let's just do it.
Like, Jesus Christ, what I pay for health insurance alone.
It's just like you get to a point in your life where you're an entrepreneur or you're whatever, and you just get beaten with all the bullshit in all these other directions that you just get to the point where you're like, I have no choice but to just be ultra direct. This is what I want. This is what I'm doing. I'm getting taken advantage of by this group. I'm getting taken advantage of by this group, like all these different things. You just get to the point where you're just bitter. Like you don't have to be unhappy, but you're just bitter about like life's choices. You know what I mean? You're just like, yeah, dude, like this is fucking what it is. Like if I hire a new person, I'm like, oh, this is the way it is. If you don't like it, like you don't have to work here. Whereas 10 years ago, I'd be like, oh, it's so great here. And we have free drinks and free this and this thing. And then eventually like the free stuff that you have at the shop becomes, oh, you didn't buy these chips this week. And then it's like, oh, well, fuck, I guess I don't need to buy snacks anymore. So now it's not like a thing where I'm like, oh, free snacks. It's just like I'm beaten. Like I'm fucking done dealing with it.
100%.
So again, like you get to a point in your career where you're like, you know what? I don't want to grow and deal with more challenges and more headaches and more learning and whatever. It's like I just want this thing that I built all these years to just run and work. And I want to have the employees that I have be well taken care of, and I want to have less headaches and this and that and the other thing. And you don't have to be bitter. I'm saying bitter because I'm thinking of like, I'm thinking of like Clint Eastwood in my mind when I'm saying this, of like, the character of him just being like direct, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Brutally honest, man.
Brutally honest. It's like, again, it's like the nice guys finish last thing. Like 100%. The more you're wishy-washy, the more you're sensitive, the more you get taken advantage of, I feel like.
Yeah, no. Ain't nobody.
So anyway, you like, all that being said, you like the new place, or the place you've been in and blown the walls
17 years, I guess the new place, the new old place, but I fucking love it here, man. Great location, great landlord, great crew, everything's great. Except for this freaking year has been the weirdest fucking year in 22 business I've been in business. Man. Last year
and this year are I don't want to say worst, but I want to say the least consistent, warm feeling years I've ever had.
That's an understatement, bro. It's just, it makes freaking sense, man. It's like our worst month is our best month this year. And it's just like, there's no rhyme or reason. It's like this week I'm freaking slammed. Next week I might be freaking sitting around with my thumb up my ass. It's like,
we were just, me and Bill were just talking about this an hour ago, where it was like last week we were like twiddling our thumbs being like, oh, we need to start scaling back to more of a skeleton crew, whatever. And then like today he came into my office and was just like, we have too much work on next week. Like it's going to be rough trying to get it all done. Like what jobs do we need to add? And can we push this out or whatever? And it's like 2 weeks ago we were like, where are the orders? And now we're like, everything has to be done next week with a holiday and this and that. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I can't catch a break. It's so all over the place. But I am also, in that same vein, very skittish about this winter. Like I'm I am being so cautious and like so tightwad right now because I am so uncertain how winter's going to go this year.
Yeah, winter's strange. I don't like it,
especially for us New Yorkers. It's like. About that time when it really slows down for us is when people get like hard seasonal depression, and it's like no one's buying shit. Like,
no. And then
we're
you
just
reach
waiting
March.
out the winter.
March is the worst because I always said you can't freaking sell people hoodies because winter to them is almost over, but you can't sell them shirts because it's fucking snow on the ground
cold.
still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I do
and
a
then
lot.
all of us New Yorkers, basically, when the weather gets to be like 38, start wearing shorts and t-shirt again. And we're like, oh, it's warm enough.
I love it when you get that like one warm week that comes, and then the phone and the emails just like just fucking start flooding in.
And
You're
then
like,
we get
yes,
4
baby,
feet.
it's back. Yeah,
and then we get 4 feet of snow.
Yeah, I snowboard, so I like the snow, but and snow, I feel you got plowers making money, these people making money. It does generate, helps the economy in its weird way. Where like when it's just cold and miserable, like then there's just nothing going on, man. It's just
Is Newburgh
person.
is Newburgh a good snowmobile town?
Snowmobile? No, we're I'm about an hour, little over an hour, depends how fast you drive. Like the Hunter, Bel Air, the Catskill region. So that's usually I get a season pass to one of those mountains. And
we are in like this area where like snowmobiles are big because a lot of people can just travel from here and Plasky and like whatever on snowmobile. And for the last, I would say 10 years, it's been shit. Like we haven't had enough snow, or we have too much snow, and then too much snow turns into, it all iced over, or it melted really fast. And it's like every trail is a fucking mud pile. And
imagine owning a business in that freaking industry where it's
right,
like
you'd be well, that's what I'm saying. Like the ski lodges and stuff next to me, it's like they literally had to dump millions of dollars into these places when it's like, why would you spend money on a ski lodge when like nobody can go? It's because they started making them into resorts that have everything other than skiing. It's like, oh, we have an indoor water park, we have zip lines, we have mountain bike trails, we have movie nights and fucking this and that and the other thing. They literally have everything else now. So if it doesn't snow for a month, they can keep people coming.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like you're fucking reliant on like
with the weather.
Snow. Yeah, like that's just, oh my God, I'd probably be dead by now, honestly.
They're like, global warming? Cool. This is great.
Like, oh God, I'd straight up be dead if I owned like a mountain or something like that. That's just, God bless. I have a handful of ski resorts. God bless them. I love them. They're all great clients to work with. Man, you guys got to have some balls of steel to be in that industry, man. Like, it's like.
But they do charge an arm and a leg for like, passes and stuff.
They do. You got to get the season, man. It's all about the season pass. Like, like you said, it's fucking insane what they charge to go to a mountain now. You're like, what? 150 during the week? Like, what the fuck are you smoking, man?
It was always the rich kids growing up for me that were like, oh, I'm going to, do Black Diamond, or, I'm going to take the school bus to go to whatever. I remember when I was in Rotary, like one of the projects that I spearheaded was our local school used to, for years and years, have this thing where they would take, it was like an after school activity where they would take kids to the ski lodge for the winter to like snowboard and whatever else. Well, they like discontinued it because they didn't have the funding. And it was like, I was like, oh, this is a cool project where I can like take on and make sure these kids have after school activities. Like that's something that's always been
Did you see how much it cost?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like it's always been weirdly like I hated school and all this other stuff, but like I feel for a lot of these like poor kids where they relied on after school activities to like get away from home or have social structure or like family or friends or whatever. Like there's nothing worse than having a poor kid that like goes to a bad home or something like after school. And it's like, okay, there's no dinner, like parents suck, like all these other things.
Yeah, they're only meals at school.
Yeah, so like school lunch and dinners or whatever. Well, anyway, I feel for that kind of thing. And like I ended up making it happen. Like we ended up having a couple events to make the money, and I basically rented a school bus like to the like for the school basically for the entire winter season. So it showed up every day and it picked the kids up. It took them to Greek Peak, and then, they came back by like whatever, 9:00 or something. And they kept the program alive because I got the funding to like rent the school bus. And like I'd rent the school bus and rent the driver of the school bus.
Nice. Good
because
for you.
school wouldn't pay for it, whatever.
Pat on the back, Dylan. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting that. It was just like,
no, I know. I do a lot of down low things too. I don't do it for the, notoriety
well, it's just like
stuff.
I like doing the Rotary thing. Like Rotary is one of those things a lot of people see as like this old person like group, and it 100% is. I was by far and away the youngest person in Rotary. Everybody else was like in their 60s, and I was, like early 30s. But there's a lot of really cool shit that we did that nobody really even knows or appreciates or whatever. It's like we built this like paved walkway around the entire lake, and like we built like a playground, or we gave fucking tens of thousands of dollars to like food bank and stuff so that like all the local people can have food, like all these other things we did all the time. And it was just a group of people getting together and volunteering every week to like throw events. Like that's literally, we were event planners, and it'd be like, okay, let's throw an event that will raise 20K, and then all that 20K is going to go to the food bank. Or okay, we're going to do 10 events this year where all of that money is going to go towards building a new playground for the kids and whatever, or this thing or the other thing. It was cool. I liked it. I mean, I stopped doing it just because my life got really busy, and one fucking redheaded guy there really pissed me off.
It's always that one guy, man.
Dude, he's such a fucking prick. That's a long story.
Yeah.
Anyway, super off topic, but
no, I try when I donate, always try to focus on more local.
We just have so many
grassroots
problems at home.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why are we not supporting our own to a degree?
And then also one thing I do on the down low, which I think other screen printers should do too, is like, sometimes kids, like you have a soccer team or something and you're doing swag for them, or vice versa. I always go up to the coach, the teacher, whatever it may be. I'm like, hey, if you got a kid that just, doesn't have the money for it, just tell me. It's on me. I always 100%. Always do that, man. It doesn't cost you anything in the grand scheme of things. And it's good for you, good for your mind. And it's just the right thing to do. So I always, whenever I'm doing like soccer club, or like I do graduation gowns for some schools, idea. And that's easy money. And it's just, I'm like, hey, if you got a couple kids, just let me know. It's on me. Yeah. It's the right thing to do. So
yeah, and I'm not like looking. We're in the conversation, so I'm going to talk about it. But I'm not looking for pat on the back with this shit that we're doing. And I know
that's cool, either. Man. No, man. Yeah. Just I love snowboarding. I love skateboarding.
But just another thing, like you're saying, if you're a screen printer, something you can do if you really want to like donate or give back or whatever, is we always end up with, and I know every shop does, you end up with all this overstock bullshit of like, we misordered this, but we couldn't send it back or whatever. Like right now, I probably have a fucking shipping container full of like shit that I need to fucking get rid of. But one thing I started doing a couple of years ago is I went to our local schools and I would donate stuff that within reason, as far as like it's the sizing makes sense, not like 3X's and whatever. It was like, okay, small through extra large, like shirts and sweatpants and this and this. I would take them to the nurse's office at the school and I would say like, here's a box, like keep it here. Like my only thing is that you guys don't take these and like print on them and sell them. Like keep them here. And what I want them to be is I want them to be for that poor kid that shows up with a ripped shirt, or someone has a nosebleed and gets blood all over their shirt, or any reason why a kid who is less fortunate like needs a shirt or something. Like give them this. Like just give them a blanket, give them sweatpants, give them this and that and the other thing. And it's better than me just like throwing them out or trying to have a fire sale or whatever. Like I'd rather it go to a kid who's like embarrassed or feels less than or something, and is like, oh, well, a teacher notices this, one kid's worn the same shirt 5 days in a row or something. It's like more often than not, he doesn't have another shirt, or he doesn't have, mom's not doing laundry or this and that and the other thing. It's like, okay, he can get a brand new shirt from Upstate anytime he wants. Like,
that's what it's about, man.
Not that anyone has to do that. I just think that like giving those things away when to us it's extras. Like it's not like I need to make the money off of these fucking shirts. They were given to us on accident in most cases. So I don't know. All right. So one of the things I really want to talk to you about was like Christina had said that you had satellite locations.
Yeah. I know you mentioned it. In the many episodes I've listened to, that you've always teetered with the idea of opening satellite stores. At one point before COVID, we had a total of 4 different locations. Newburgh.
That's crazy.
Newburgh, New Paltz, Beacon, Montgomery. We just have 2 right now. So Beacon just got out of the hipsters of Brooklyn took over, and dude, like I was paying like $800 a month. That thing goes for like $3,500 now. And Montgomery, we just kind of closed during COVID. It just made sense. And
But what was your, like, why, and what were they actually doing at these places? Were you selling retail, or was it just a storefront to order shirts?
world domination. No,
It sounds like headaches. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it can be. No, it was. We noticed early on some clients we weren't getting because we didn't have a brick and mortar. So we were, that was one reason we wanted custom. We were and currently are selling retail items in there too. Like Beacon's a big tourist area, so we'd make tourist swag in there. And our New Paltz we actually run to this day, and we run a lot of it direct to garment. We still do a shit ton of direct to garment, but we have a couple key clients. That's all they want, and I'm not talking about, for some people we're talking, some might, hundreds upon hundreds of pieces, for DTG. But that's the look, that's the feel they want. So the New Paltz store, we run our direct to garment right now, and we have New Paltz a big tourist area, so we have a lot of retail touristy tchotchke shit. Basically.
I love that when you talk about this stuff, it's like, oh, I had to add this. Like, I'm not excited to have it. I'm not pumped on it. It's just, it's there and it fucking works. And
now it works.
Whatever.
So basically what I did now, currently, last year, I sold the retail sector of my business to one of my employees because I wasn't into it. So now it's basically, we're in this, it's called the Water Street Market. It's it's like a little miniature village, I guess you'd say. And it's basically, we have 3 storefronts as one. She has 2 and I have 1 in that store, and she subleases from me. So basically we just use it for people come in, place their orders, pick their orders up, look at garments, and direct to garment. So she, in return, she's there all the time. I don't have to worry really about staffing it. So she'll handle the orders for me. They're all paid, so really just pick up. A lot of the custom stuff if someone's really interested in custom, we'll set an appointment and I'll come up there. And, it's working out great. I don't have to worry about the employee aspect. My rent's cheaper. And when I was doing the retail was really just covering the employee, because my heart wasn't into it. She's killing it.
See, that's what that was my thought. And I haven't pulled the trigger on this because, again, when I was ready to try to pull the trigger is when this market has kind of been fucking all over the place. And I'm like, I'm not going to go do some chance thing right now and pay X amount of dollars per month per year for this place when it's up and down to figure out what's going on in my current normal place. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking that if I was to open the Ithaca shop, in downtown, because what I want the satellite location where they can order and then we print it here and we deliver there and everything else.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, if I had retail there, it would be more just so that the store didn't look like this empty, weird shell. Mm-hmm. And if I did sell something in the retail, I would just 100% put it towards the employee who has to be there. But I don't know, dude. I just don't know if it's a good idea for me or not. And I might just be super cautious about it. But can you pitch me and sway me to say this is good or bad? Or right now, are you feeling I wish I didn't have these, but I do have these? Or are you nah, dude, these rule? And
no, I love it, honestly. When I had all 4 of them, it was a little much. We had a lot more, probably had 3 times the amount of employees, just constant running. It was too much. But, currently just the 2 locations, it's great. It's, if you can find the right person or find someone that has you can kind of collaborate with, they're not an employee for you, but they have their own thing in there and you have your own thing. It's minimal effort as far as the day-to-day operations of that retail. It's all done through the emails and meeting up there at specific times. And, I've landed some of my biggest clients are because I have that satellite store. I would have never.
Don't tell me that.
No,
don't tell
I swear
me
to God, one of my top 3 clients is because they walked into that store. It's such
See,
a
that's
huge thing.
that's the thing that's like the carrot dangled in front of me is
It
like,
is. You got to risk it, bro. You're still young, man. Like, go
don't
for
give
it,
me
bro.
that. I'm fucking
Go for
bitter.
it. You got to
Let me be
risk
bitter
it
and
for
old.
the biscuit. No, risk it for the biscuit, bro. Dude, just try.
I would rather risk it for the brisket than risk it for the biscuit.
Dude, like sign a 1-year lease. You know, what do you got to lose? You've pissed away more on SEO. Sounded like,
Yeah.
So
the thing is like, I don't know if you're familiar with Ithaca or not, but like it is like the most PhD per square mile in the world, and it's like all these rich kids go there. Everything there is expensive because of the the rent and everybody's smart, and there's Cornell. It's where Cornell is. It's basically a town surrounding Cornell. And it is like the most hippie town ever. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying that they are very like local is the most important thing ever. And they won't order from anybody who isn't really in that circle, that 10 miles or whatever it is. I am 20 minutes from Ithaca.
And you don't get anything because
I don't get any business because I'm not there.
So what does
my
that tell
thing
you?
was right, but that's what I'm saying. That was my whole plan is like they have these like two beautiful, like gorgeous, like market downtown things where it's just like a strip. It's like the Commons. So they have one that's called the Commons, and they have another one that's called what is it? It's something Bay or whatever what it's called. And it's basically like a row of two buildings, and they have like the big garage doors, and it's like everybody has like it's a brewery and like a bakery and then a cafe and then a person who makes like handmade whatever, and then it's like a record store, and it's just this community area where people come and they got all these benches out and people hang out there, and then they shop within these markets. And I'm like, fuck, this would be perfect for a small screen printing thing where I have a cart, like one of those bike live print carts where every day I wheel it out and I'm just out there maybe like printing free upstate shirts or something. And then the person inside is selling retail, but also if someone comes up and is like, oh, I need to order 100 shirts for my, fucking handmade underwear company or whatever it would be in Ithaca. And then it's like, okay, cool. Like, let's do it. And then I fucking print them here and I drop them off there every Friday or something.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
But my biggest fear is like hiring someone to run it because I'm not driving to Ithaca every day. I'm not going to be there.
So do you have what you can do is like get some part-timers? I'm sure you have some office people at your place that predominantly just work on the computer. So I'm sitting at the computer at the other shop 1 or 2 days a week. And they know they're going to be the greatest people there because they know how it's operating down in upstate, and they know the ins and outs. That's golden right there.
But also with your satellite places, is it 9 to 5 or is it late night? Like, is it nights and weekends?
Well, I don't have to worry about it now, but because the girl. But it's usually 5 days a week. Well, really 4 days a week. Our landlord that actually owns this warehouse owns the place up in New Paltz too. So he kind of lets me get away with a couple things that all the other people hate me on. So we're Thursday through Sunday, basically 11 to 6, 7, maybe, depending on the day. So, but it's great. I think you should do it, Dylan.
It's just not my world. I know the funny thing is every person I talk to on the show that has a retail place or whatever, they're like, yeah, fucking do it. You should do it. You should do it.
How expensive is the rent?
The thing is this Bay Area that I want to be in is more like, I think their vibe is kind of like an incubator where they want businesses to come in and be able to try out. So like, it's not super expensive. Okay. Like, I feel like it was probably $800 a month or something a small area thing. And again, the rent isn't my issue. Like the rent isn't my concern. Like I could pull off the rent. My issue is a human being, like 1 or 2 or whatever, who's going to have to be there. And then it's like, okay, like you said, like it would be cool if it was somebody from here, but I also can't sacrifice the people I have here. So it's like, I would have to train somebody up. What it would end up being is me for a year. It would probably end up every day I go up to Ithaca and I sit there and I work on my shit.
I wouldn't say every day, but you definitely do some FaceTime.
Yeah, I have somebody like shadow me for a year there, and then I finally get to the point where I'm like, all right, you got this, and then they do it, and then I have someone shadow them, and then I have two people, and then I just rotate those two people. But I don't know, dude.
Go for it, man.
Right now, I'm like it's the farthest from my brain because I'm concerned about fucking payroll and having people order T-shirts from my current one place. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to invest in a retail store. Like, this seems like a fucking nightmare.
It can be, man.
I feel like I will be bald in a month if I did another project like that.
You want to talk about, we were just talking about winters before. You ain't seen bad winters till you've been in something like that. A retail. Oh, God, bro.
See, now the truth comes out. I just asked you fucking a minute ago how awesome this was. And you were like, fucking do it. And now you're talking about winter being like.
It's just winter. It's hard. There could be like 2-3 days. You wouldn't see shit, bro. You wouldn't see a person walk in. But, you get that one client. Like you get the one client. You're not
selling it to me right now.
You get the one client, they're in my top 3 because they walked in the store. We have some really good clients because of that location, and specifically, I would have never gotten them if I. All right,
so how about let me pitch you this idea, and this sounds fucking snaky as all hell, but like, why don't I make this fake retail store? Not fake, like it exists, but whatever. And I have an address in town so that I can be a local business, whatever. I put just enough into it to make it look like a real thing. And then all I do is I go up, I knock on doors, to all the dream clients that I want within that area. And I get them as a customer. I get them under my wing. They like working with me. They realize they like working with me. And then I pull the retail store.
I've done that.
And they're already a client. They're not going anywhere. They're happy to be here.
That's what you can do too. You open it up for X amount of years, 2-3 years. You get those clients that you would have never gotten, and then
fucking bail.
Yeah, that's kind of what we did in Beacon. We were kind of considering it, and then the rent went up, and then my landlord told me I had to pay utilities all of a sudden, and I never paid utilities before, and we noticed that we were actually not only paying our utilities, we were paying the tenant upstairs utilities. And we closed down, and we wound up I actually, for a couple of years, was making more revenue from that town in Newburgh than when I had my shop there.
Because again, let's be the old bitter man and say the truth is like I'm not out to do a retail store because I want to be artsy.
No, we want the clients.
I want the client. Like all I want is the clients. Like I'm not doing this because I want to sell T-shirts like one-offs that say fucking Ithaca, New York.
Nobody fucking wants to do that, bro.
Like I want the customers from that town.
Hey, like that's all I'm trying to do. I sold 2 Ithaca shirts today. Nobody fucking wants to do that. But unfortunately, you got to do that to get that. So, but you could play it like that. Do it for 2 years. Do it for a year or two. And
because then I'm just doing simple math. I'm like, all right, well, this is going to cost me $800 times 12 months. An employee is going to cost me X amount per whatever. And then I'll be the one to reach out to all these places and use my knowledge to get the customers. And then I'll pull the plug in 2 years and say, thanks for the incubator opportunity.
Exactly.
We're going to not expand in Ithaca.
Yeah.
And,
or you can open it. You do during the week by appointment only, and then stay open on the weekend.
That's the
get
key,
a part-timer.
is by appointment only.
By appointment only. And then, boom. You could do it that way. There's a bunch of different... Because then I only
have to drive up when I know people
and they're spending money. And you could tell ahead of time, like, this guy wants 24 pieces. I'm going to freaking slow play the shit out of this. Or meet me on the weekend because you're going to be there anyway, or someone's going to be there.
Let's grab a bagel at the bakery.
There's a whole bunch of different angles you can play it. And I've experimented with it with all the different angles. I've gone balls to the wall retail. Sucks. Don't do it. And then I've done a little bit of retail and then a little bit of this. And now I'm strictly like just running my DTG out of there. The girl's doing all her retail stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm appointment only. If you want to sit down and, talk to me, she gets the person's number. She usually either texts it and emails emails it to me right away. I call him within probably less than an hour when she hands me that lead, even if it's a Saturday, Sunday, and set something up. And it's gravy, man. Like I don't have an employee. I'm paying a third of the rent because she's subleasing 2 of the spots out of me. I'm making more money out of there than I did when it was all retail. So, I mean, there's all different angles you can do. You just got to kind of experiment and see which one. I know you're over.
And when I talk about this, I'm talking about myself. And again, I'm trying to be honest and say like, hey, I don't have any interest in making fucking like town shirts and whatever. But the thing is there are good friends of mine who have retail places where half of their artistic, juices that they're getting are from their retail store, like Windmill City in Palm Springs. Like they have a beautiful retail store and they're doing great because they love to get involved in all those things and they love to figure out new things to sell in the store and try this and try that. And they're close with the locals and they like to sit there and do their thing. And it's awesome. Like I'm proud of them for what they've done. And like Jared at Rockford, like that store is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
his store is
all about, right. No pun intended. And it's just like, you can tell that like what's in there is Jared basically. Like it's the stuff that he's into and it's the hiking stuff and the stuff with his dog and everything else. And it's like, hell yeah, that rules. And there's a ton of other ones too. I'm not going to list every retail place I know, but like that's where I feel like their passion is. And what's funny is I just was talking about not wanting to start another project, but I did an episode. I don't know if I've talked about this on the show yet or not, but like I did an episode a little while ago with Dr. Don's, and their big thing is buttons. Like I had him on, we talked about buttons, and after the episode, we got talking about how basically like I said I never got my button career to where I had an automatic button maker. I always did like the hand press, whatever. And at one point we had like 5 hand presses and like 5 random employees or whatever that were like making buttons. And then I sold that company and got more into t-shirts and everything and whatever, never looked back. But we got talking about the button stuff and basically he was like, oh, well, I'd love to help you out. And like, if you want to get back into buttons, like, let's do this thing. And he had like an auto and we were going to figure this out and whatever. And he's like a fucking angel of a human being and like helps me get all this stuff. So now I have an automatic button machine fitted for the 1-inch buttons that I want to do and whatever. But my goal with it is my kids are 13 and 15 and like, I want something for them to do and I want something to do with them. And I know the button thing, it's like this one process, like this whole thing. So right now I bought the domain. I got the logo done. I'm getting the wheels going now. I got to get the website done, but I'm starting a new company that does buttons again. And I'm just basically going to be me and I'm going to hire my kids to make buttons.
That's what's up.
And it's like, I'm just talking about how I got too much going on and I'm like, oh, I'm going to start a button company all over again. But it's in us as, business owners and whatever, yeah. Like it's where blood, right. It's like, and it's funny, like, I don't know if it's a sickness or if it's a whatever. It's just like, there's certain people that just have that addictive personality where it's like, it is a good thing. Like, in my opinion, it's a good thing. And it's 100%. A motivated person. It's a whatever, but it's like, we are addicted to that rush that we get when we're like building something. And dopamine. I'm at the point too where I'm like, I want it right. It's like this hit of dopamine of like, okay, we got to this level. We got to this level. We got to this level. But that's my next thing. I'm excited about it. I named it the Lucky Button Co. Okay. Just did the logo. It's a rabbit missing his rabbit's foot. And I'm excited. I'll see how it goes. So we'll bring buttons back. I haven't done buttons in whatever, fucking 17 years.
You're doing it, you mentioned one of your episodes, I think you considering doing embroidery. Yeah,
I fully backed out. I fully backed out.
Smart man. I did it in-house. Peace. 2 years later, I make more money. Yeah, the
thing is I struggled with, do I want to do it or not? And I tried to talk myself into it. And a lot of shops I talked to that are friends were like, hey, I make a ton of profit off embroidery. Like 50% of my business is embroidery, like all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that was cool. Like, hell yeah, like embroidery, whatever. But the reality is the lady across the street sold it to somebody else. And I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting somebody who bought the equipment, bought whatever, to just take it and go wherever they, like, say they were in New Jersey or something, and it just went away. What ended up happening is the lady who bought it ended up just renting the building with the embroidery equipment and doing her business here. And she's actually really rad. Like, she is like a great person. Like, we met a couple times and I said, like, hey, I would love to give you all my business if you can focus all your efforts on quality. I just want like the best possible embroidery. Let me know what your pricing is going to be. Let's talk about that. I need you to be able to sew patches on. And she basically said yes to everything.
Nice.
And she's been amazing. And like, yeah, and I'm using her. And the funny thing is like she uses Printavo, and like the other lady was just using like fucking, like, it was willy-nilly. She was just running my card. I never got invoices. It was whatever. Now I'm getting like Printavo invoices where I can just like pay them and everything. And it's awesome. I'm like, why would I have? Like, if I would have brought embroidery in here, it would have been like, I have a very skilled, awesome lady across the street.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a no-brainer now to just be like, all right, cool, we're going to do it there. So again, like I moved my focus onto something else. So I'm going to do the button thing, which I don't know if it's going to turn into anything or not, but I still think it'll be a fun project to do with my kids.
Yeah, with your kids, 100%. I mean, just the business lessons they'll learn alone will be, worth it.
Plus, they'll just get that weird bruise on their thumb from pressing in all the copper pieces in the back of the buttons.
Yeah.
Is there anything new that you're working on with your place? I mean, you said you were comfy and you got your, 2 presses and you're going to do whatever, but is there something that is that entrepreneur growth thing that you're doing now, or are you just like, fuck it?
No, I am. I'm trying to just like streamline like wherever there's bottlenecks right now. Our ink area was a freaking mess. I just got custom wall cabinet things on the shelves, everything like color coordinated, organized, Pantone color organized. I need to get more racks in my dark room area, which AJ's been showing me pictures of
mine.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I do got to do that. So
it's funny because AJ reached out to me a little while ago and was like, send me pictures of your dark room or whatever. And then I just sent him a bunch of dick pics, and then I realized that's not what he was talking about. And then I ended up sending him the custom racking, and I didn't know who it was going to.
Yeah, it was going to me. So he's like, you need to do this. AJ's the man. So I'm just trying to like really, because we have a skeleton crew, I think people would be really amazed the amount of volume we do with the little amount of people we have here. And I want to keep it that way. We've tried new employees. It just never works out. It's tough. Anybody owning a business trying to find quality people that want to work. And so I'm just trying to find any ways I can streamline it so I can make production faster, get more orders in and out. So, and there's some things I want to buy. Like we just bought an auto last year, another auto. So we have 2 Anatol. So that should be paid off by, I'd say, middle of next year. So I want to get some new dryers. They're due for upgrade. I'd love to get the laser, little things. And I need to get a bigger DTG machine. Well, that's next on the horizon too. Like, we do DTF as well, but I hate DTF, but I sell it. Personally, I hate it, but it's a great money maker. It's a great tool to have.
Yeah.
But so those are kind of like what my next 2-year projections are. But this year is really just like cleaning things up and making it as efficient as possible.
I was going to say, I feel like the efficiency thing is like a big topic as well. And we don't have to super get into it unless you want to, but it's like more and more of the people I talk to, and especially like the episode I just had with Juan, and I feel like that episode with him was very eye-opening, because he's a friend, and it was just nice to like have that conversation with him, but also just like the reality of like you grow to a certain point and then you have to look for these like bottlenecks. Like you build it and then you start like tearing it apart at the same time. where you're like, okay, well, why are we doing it this way? And this is really inefficient, whatever. Well, the thing is, you go down that rabbit hole of like making everything as efficient as possible. And it's this catch-22. It's a great thing, but it's mentally, it fucks you a little bit because you're like, our numbers are up from last year, but why are we feeling so slow? Like, why are we feeling like business is like slugging along? And it's what it is we're doing jobs twice as fast. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, well, now I need to ramp up sales, or I need to do all this outbound to like feed the machine and whatever, which is again great, but then it's a whole nother thing. And then you're kind of like doing your baby steps with the new approach to doing sales to get more sales. And then, then you're like giving more to this thing, and it's like, it just never ends, but it's a good thing. And I think like you were saying, is what I want to do is I want to have the 2 to 3 presses. I want to have the skeleton crew, and I want to have enough sales where our schedule is booked all times 3 weeks out. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it is. We just live life. We fucking play basketball. We grill. We print t-shirts. We leave at 5:00. We show back up on Monday, and we do it all over again. And everybody gets to have a life and whatever. That's the goal. That's what I want. But again, like the whole struggle of, especially right now, I feel like it's like, okay, we're just really efficient. Like I have all the fancy tools, and that's just because I'm in this industry and I'm a nerd and I want the fancy tools. Yeah, but having all the fancy tools makes you really fucking efficient. And then you're like, shit, like, if this was 5 years ago, we'd be swamped with work right now, but it's only because we were as fast.
Yeah.
Like now we're so much faster.
Yeah. We're kind of like, like I said too, we feel a little bit slower these days too, but our numbers are right where they were last year. Should. You know what I mean? A little bit up, and you're like, like I said, this week we're slam, but next week you're kind of like, so like, cause we're doing things better. Last year we only had 1 auto. This year we have 2. So, so it does make you feel like you're not doing something right. But at the same time, you're looking at your numbers and you're like, well, numbers are good too. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to ask you, Christina told me you were prepped with a shop hack.
Yeah, I guess there's so many hacks. I don't know. I don't even know if it's
I feel like there's so much pressure now with the show for someone
like,
to
like, what am I going to say? It's all been done.
Like you need to. What I want to do is I want to preface with like, no pressure, dude. Like if it could be anything, it's like, oh well, I use fucking blue pens. Cool. Tell me about it. Like
it might be like a couple. Like it might be lame, but instead of like you get print kisses and stuff with t-shirts coming out of the dryer. Instead of using a spot gun, if they're really light, bringing it over a spot area, putting the paper towel, whatever you use, and zinging it out. If you just take tape, like we use our blue blockout tape, and just start going like this. Ink user comes right off.
Really?
Yeah, like 3 times. Boom. You know how many times? So your stacker can literally go there, and even if it's like, especially if it's like a little pinhole, they can just be stacked. Boom, with the tape, right off. Yeah.
I'll have to try that. I've never done that.
Yeah. It's just like, it can't be like a heavy freaking blown out, but like a little print kiss or a little pinhole. Just take the R blue tape. I just put it around my hand, but like reverse side, so the stickies. The adhesive side's there, and just start going like that, like really 1-2
strong
times.
tape, yeah,
and it just takes the pinhole. I do it, we do it nonstop. It just saves so much time versus like, okay, I got 10 of these with little micro pinholes. I sit there, bing, bing, bing. Nah, just tape, boom, 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 done. Yeah. And then so that's a hack. And then I don't know if these are really hacks, but it's just like. I know you've mentioned it, like printed boxes. Why are you screen printers not like putting your merch in your branded boxes? It's a freaking no-brainer, man. You're going to give somebody that two reasons. You're going to give somebody that just spent $5,000 your order in these Gildan or Port and company boxes have been through like a hurricane.
Hell.
Yeah. Like
there's blood on the box.
Yeah, it's such a bad look. I mean, a nice present box. It doesn't, presentable box. It doesn't have to be anything special. Mine's just brown box, logo printed on it.
The thing with the boxes is it's like there is a heated debate. Like, I feel like there's so many people that when you start talking about boxes that like get very in the weeds of like, well, you're actually contributing to more waste because of
Oh,
this, that, and
shut. I use recycled
you
boxes.
can't recycle this because it's got this on it and tape and whatever. And then, but again, like I am the kind of person who I want to be as eco-conscious as possible, only because like, like I care and I want to whatever, but also I am a business owner and I do see the other side of it too, like you're saying, of like it's presentation and it's like first impression. It's like if I spent, $10,000 or something on a batch of t-shirts and it shows up to my house in a box that's got blood on it and it had been wet at some point and the tapes have fallen off or whatever, like I'm going to be bummed that my first impression is the stack of shitty boxes. Or if you stack 5 boxes up and it's not in like a double walled box and all the boxes are like crushed and leaning to the left, it's like, what did I buy? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that stuff is important. I think that you should be presenting as much as possible. And it's that it goes back to that branding thing of like, if you have a box that is strong and well done and decorated, and then they open the box and then the first thing they see is like a cut protection cardboard thing. That's like, okay, like how many people instantly take a kitchen knife or like any knife and they slice the box open and they're like, oh, fuck, I just sliced through 3 shirts because my knife went too far in. We do a fucking like a 5-cent or whatever it is, like cardboard thing in the top of the box that has a printed logo on it that says, we're trying to protect your goods or something. And then they lift that up and then there's a reflective baggie that has stickers and candy and a thank you card in it.
Yeah.
And then under that is their fucking brand new shirts.
They're excited and they haven't even seen their shirts yet. You know what I mean? You're already putting them in a great mood. I'm sorry, but you could be PC and say like, oh, the earth thing. I try to be health conscious. That's just people just being cheap, man. Just get the damn box, man. Like,
and then there's this whole new box that I haven't gotten yet, which is the Sanmar box or whatever, where it's like,
oh, it's horrible. I hate that box. You can't reuse it. I hate that box, bro. Fucking sucks, dude.
Everybody I've ever talked to says like it's an abomination. Like it's like
box
the worst
sucks,
thing.
Bro. It's they generally, I don't know if they're like predominantly on the West Coast now. I've just noticed like my Reno shipments from Sanmar they always come in that box. It's a fucking pull this tab and it's fucking.
I like rarely order from Sanmar, so like I haven't gotten it. But
I used to, but it's you can't break it down either. It's a pain to break down. But I used to never order from Sanmar. They came in aggressive pricing, and great rebate. Rebate helps me in those lonely winter months. That's when that rebate check comes, or credit. So I just went, but I still use SNS. They have certain brands like the Richardson and
well, I mean, we use Samar, but it's only for like Carhartt or like Port & Co. or fucking District or whatever.
Yeah.
Greatest shop fail.
I invested in one of my good clients back in the day. I invested in his clothing line, and that was just basically
why.
I don't, he was doing good revenue with me. He's became a friend, and he had some really good good leads. We got picked up by a distribution center that at the time was distributing Crooks and Castles, Diamond Supply, BGRT, and it was just didn't really go anywhere after that. And I got to learn the cut and sew in industry and things of that nature. So I called it an expensive education. So lesson learned: don't get involved in your customer's business,
or just don't do a clothing line.
yeah. But back then, it was in the earlier stages.
Everybody in our industry has done a clothing line at some point.
I mean, you've done you're doing it. So you can't. It's just like you have to try. What if you're that one? You're that one pony. You know what I mean? The thing
is you learn quickly. Like I got humbled super quickly about how much time and effort it takes to run something like that.
Yeah.
Like you can't just make something cool and like expect it to take off for people to come. Like you have to constantly be promoting it, talking about it, doing socials and having models do stuff and whatever. Like you have to always be doing something. So it made me super respect that, like the hustle that they have to do in order to like make that happen. But then it's just, I don't have time and energy for that. What I wanted to do is I wanted to have the naive, like, I'm just going to make cool shit and then put it online and people are going to buy it. And then I'm just going to like sell stuff here and there and package stuff out and send it out. And that's not the reality. The reality is that you have to be constantly fucking doing stuff.
Yeah. I always tell,
I can't be doing that.
Yeah. I always tell, because, you know, we all still get the people that want to start a clothing line. And the first thing I tell them, the easy part is making the merch. The hard part is selling it. So it takes so much effort on a whole nother level to, like you said, just be so proactive and constantly posting or, you know, this and that with it. That's so much harder than the actual production.
Oh, for sure. I've seen so many people make really awesome art and make really cool shirts and put a lot of time and effort in, and then it just goes nowhere. Yeah, because they don't do the hustle.
So yeah, I'd probably say that's the worst.
Yeah. All right. Quick takes. What shirt has your shop printed that you're the most proud of?
I wouldn't say it's a specific shirt in general, but it is a clothing brand, believe it or not, that we do, and we currently still do. And it's been in all the Supremes in the world. And me coming up in that era, like skating in the 90s, watching Supreme, you know, when it was one t-shirt, to me, that was just like awesome, like just like righteous for me. And my brother-in-law lives in France, and I told him, he went to the Supreme in France, bought one of my shirts, took a picture out, you know. It's just like, man, like to me it just made me so proud, like, because
it's an achievement.
Yeah, you know, skateboarding is my life. To be in Supreme and, you know, watch Supreme when it was just like one t-shirt in the early 90s and see what it's created and, you know, the culture it's created and the industry was just, you know, that. And it still is carried in the Supremes. It's just, you know, for me, that was like really awesome and really proud of to you know, be that small little part. Yeah.
Let's see. What's your go-to listen right now?
Big Andre 3000, like Outkast. I like old 90s hip hop, reggae.
It's very fitting with the skateboard.
Yeah, you know, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, anything reggae, Richie Spice. But I'd say Outkast is definitely looping a lot. Love that ATL.
That's awesome. I wasn't expecting that. All right. If you were a burglar and you could only steal items that would slightly inconvenience your victim, what would it be?
Oh, Jesus. Funny story. I've done this to my whole family and gave it back to them on Christmas. Stole stuff from their houses. That was a really good time. I would like,
continue.
Oh God, yeah. One year I stole all this stuff from my sister was living there, my nephews. Like I stole my sister's pizza cutter. I stole this little baby Jesus on a manger from my mom. My mom wound up accusing one of her piano students of stealing it. And
you let it ride?
Yeah, oh yeah, and my brother-in-law had to slept on the couch for like 2 days over a pizza cutter because my sister thought freaking she stole it. And I did some other gifts to my dad and my nephews. I wrapped them all up and brought them back on Christmas, and they opened it up and it was their shit.
That's hilarious that you did that, because I have
great. So petty, but it's great.
I have a similar story that when I first started dating my ex-wife. This was forever ago. I was a fucking punk kid and I did stupid shit or whatever. But one of the things I did was I was really good at throwing things from the driver's side and taking out things like on the opposite side of the road. Yeah, like up over the car, like street signs, mailboxes, fucking whatever I felt like hitting. I got really good at it. Like I was really good at timing, whatever. And I don't know why I thought this would like impress her. But like we were going back to her house to watch a movie and we went to like Taco Bell or something downtown and I had like a small Taco Bell cup with ice in it. And I had it, and I felt the weight of it, and I was like, I could probably throw this. So we were driving, and we're headed back towards her place, and I roll the window down, and I was like, watch this. And she's like, what? And I grabbed the Taco Bell cup, and I fucking like threw it over the car and disintegrated this guy's mailbox. Like went right through the side of this guy's mailbox. And she's like, oh my God, that's my cousin's house. And I was like, oh shit, like that fucking... Like, that sucks, whatever. And then the very next day, I was at her house again, and her cousin showed up, like, super pissed off. He was like, some fucking punk kid took my mailbox out with a baseball bat. And, like, all this other stuff. Taco Bell, and I was like, motherfucker, that was a small Taco Bell paper cup, first of all. I didn't say a word. I, like, let it ride. I was like, fucking, I haven't even met this guy yet. Like, I'm not fucking telling him I smashed his mailbox. So anyway, like, obviously we ended up getting together and got married and whatever. We were together for like 18 years. And every year at Christmas, they would do White Elephant, which is like the, you swap gifts or whatever. Mm-hmm. Every year I hope to get Robert because I wanted to get him and get him a mailbox. And I wanted to be able to tell him the story of like, hey, it was actually me who fucking broke your mailbox. Like, whatever. And it went on for like, I think like 15 years. I never got Robert for a White Elephant. And I think we were having a bonfire one night or something. And like Lindsay's brother was there with us and Robert was there. And Brandon was drunk and he was sitting back and he knew the mailbox story. And he was like, oh, you remember that time Dylan smashed your mailbox or whatever? And Robert's like, what? No. And I was like, Brandon, what the fuck? This is like a thing. I've been carrying this for 15 years. The secret. Right, like, I wanted so badly to give him this mailbox on Christmas and you fucking ruined it, you dick. He thought it was hilarious. And he was like, oh my God, whatever. And I was just like, I mean, it was fun to tell him the story, but I wanted so badly for him to open this mailbox on Christmas and have this like Taco Bell cup inside.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, man.
But I love yours too. I love the petty like stealing of little things. But your thing wasn't just that they were like, oh, this is missing, and then they get it for Christmas, and they're like, oh, that's funny, you had it. It was the fact that other people were getting in trouble and blamed this entire time.
That's what it's all about in life, man. Little shit like that, bro.
It's the little things.
It totally is, man.
All right, last question.
Okay.
Top 4 favorite movies of all time.
Okay. Going with God, it's just brain freeze. The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey.
That's somewhat newer.
Yeah, it's like have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that one. Ocean's 11.
I was gonna say it's a Guy Ritchie movie, isn't it?
Yes, it is a Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ocean's 11.
Very similar vibes.
Yep, Goonies, and then I guess we'll go old school. I mean,
it's a vibe in all of those.
Yeah, he's just old school's classic, man. It's great, but yeah, I guess those are my 4, man. Yeah,
it's funny. I like watching the. There's a bunch of them now, but I think originally it was who was the first one to do it? Like Vanity Fair and a bunch of these do it now, where they interview a movie star when they're promoting a movie, and they go through their whole career of like movies, and they ask them all these questions about their career. And Vince Vaughn just did one recently, and he was talking about how he did Swingers, and then Swingers turned into certain roles, and then he wanted to do a movie like Old School, and people were like, why him? He's not going to be funny, whatever. And now Vince Vaughn is like known to be like one of the most like funny, quick-witted fucking people in all these different movies, like fucking Wedding Crashers and like all this other stuff. But he was talking about how in Old School he just like improvised so many of those lines that like he's like, people literally use my lines in front of me without even knowing that it came from me. He's like, I'll be in public and someone will want to say something to somebody and they'll learn to their kids and be like, earmuffs. And it's like, earmuffs was fucking my thing. Yeah. Like I created that thing. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff in like Old School that's just like, it's just fucking perfect. It's like one of those comedies that's just, it'll last for forever because there's so many good natural improvised lines that turned into like real comedy and real fun. But I watched a movie 2 days ago that was a Fathom event. For those listening, Fathom events are like movies that wouldn't normally go to theaters, or it's like a bring back of like whatever. I have a Fathom event movie this weekend as Jaws, like 50th anniversary. I'm going to go see Jaws in the theater. But it was called Primitive War. And it's basically a Jurassic Park rated R. And it's about the Vietnam War, where like the Americans are fighting and for some reason the Russians are in the middle of the jungle, like with making a super collider that makes a wormhole that brings dinosaurs to the current time. And like basically a bunch of raptors and like T-Rexes and like all these other predator dinosaurs come through. And like it's like literal war movie that dinosaurs are in, just like eating fucking soldiers and shit, like ripping them apart and like all this sort of stuff. And I was just like, this is fucking insane. Like this is
sounds insane.
The acting was god awful. Like the number one person on the call sheet was Jeremy Piven from like Entourage.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's a great movie, man.
It shows you the caliber of this movie. But it was just fantastic. Like I love cringy, like whatever movies. So if you're into cringe, but you want to see dinosaurs eating people in crazy ways, Primitive War is right up there.
Nice.
But anyway, thank you, dude, so much for doing this with me. I was excited to do it with you. First of all, I appreciate you listening to the show as much as you've listened to. That means a lot to me. So thank you for doing that. But yeah, it was great to talk to you. We need to hang out sometime. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Again, you're not that far away. We need to fucking meet up and talk shop and hang out.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I was telling my daughter was like, I told her I was going on the podcast, and she's like, the one you've been listening to for like almost 5 years now? Because I literally listen to it every morning. Like I live on a private road, so I take her up to the bus stop. So when I'm waiting, Shirt Show's on. So,
right.
She's like, funny. Oh, that's so awesome. That's the one. And, thank you for doing the podcast, man. I wish I wish this was around when I first started. This is just, I find it like, it's revolutionary in my opinion. And for the, no, I swear for the industry, man, it really is. Like, there's no, like, we didn't have this,
Yeah.
I was all trial and error. So
when I originally started doing my podcast and then turned into Shirt Show, it was just like the gatekeeping thing was very strong. And I was just I'm kind of done with this. And I just want to talk about real shit and talk to other people. And now there's a bunch of podcasts and whatever. And I wasn't the first one to do it. I'm just saying when I first started doing it, there wasn't that many.
You're not the first, but you're the best, Dylan.
Hey, hell yeah. Thank you. But no, I'm going to keep doing it because I love talking to people like you. Like I get the opportunity to have this conversation when I might not have before. So fuck yeah, it rules. But thank you, dude. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother. Thank you again. Appreciate you.